Uh, why is this not? I swear I privated this video. Very annoying. Anyways, okay, we're live streaming. That's exciting. That's super cool. Let's just make sure everything looks good. We got the stream, we got the link, we're gonna ping people in Discord because they love that. Everyone loves when I do this. And then, okay, we're gonna work on some music. So yesterday, I made absolutely nothing good, and it was a terrible time. Today, I have started with the basis of a potential project, so I'm thinking a little bit ahead. So hopefully we'll get somewhere. We're gonna keep trying to make things in 23 Edo, because kind of the arbitrary mission I just gave to myself to learn to write in this terrible tuning. So we're just gonna keep throwing ourselves at it until we start learning some cool techniques to make music. So I think this scale, if I'm correct, we're in a anti-Phrygian scale, I think technically. Yes, we are. So it's basically a major scale. It's like the major equivalent of what you have in 23. Anyways, we got this. Hey, thank you, Lucas. Appreciate it. That's it. That's all we got. I think it sounds pretty cool. Something cool I think I discovered is you just add a little bit of like pitch envelope. Actually, these chords already sound good, but like pitch envelope makes it so that whatever notes you play are like less bad no matter what, right? Because it's, you know, going over so many different frequencies or intervals that if you're playing something like especially like kind of wonky and a weird tuning or whatever, then like you can get away with more. But yeah, it's a vibe. So our drums suck for sure. And I'm not crazy about the kick drum right now. We can do that. Okay. Let's also pitch that down. Yeah, that's fine. This is all fine. And then okay, we can get some more stuff. Let's get some, like, I don't know, bongos or something. Oh shit. Oh shit. Probably way too busy. I kind of like that as like a fade in. Well, that sounds terrible there. It goes completely off the grid at this point. I think that's the problem with this. Yeah, let's just nudge this so that it looks like everything's on the grid. And then quantize settings. Let's make it 67 and then quantize. That's a weird kind of percussive sound. Should probably just remove it. Just want to work this. How does this work again? Run repitch. And then make this less busy. Okay, cool. We got bongos. Let's get, I don't know, conga or something. These are 808 congas, but they're kind of fun. I don't think this is gonna work. I have a whole sample pack from, from 5 AM and Zone Drums that I bought a few years ago. And there's a lot of cool hand percussion stuff. So like we could probably just take this. It's already super wide. I want this mostly just on one side. And it's too busy now. We can also alternate. This guy can be centered. Okay, that's kind of a vibe. It's kind of fun. Should we add a sub, probably? We should probably add a sub. Let's take our chords from down here, take everything, go up to our sub bass. And then, how low can we go? We cannot go that low. Go down to C2. Fortunate. So that's C0, or C, yeah, that's C0, because it went down 2 octaves. And then we will just mute this. Except I also want the high-pitched melody. This guy here. So we might base the sub bass off of that. Perhaps. Da, 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 da. Kind of cool. Hey, good shit. Well, what's the word for that? So that's praxis. Yeah. Wait, what is praxis? I know it's like fucking. You refer to it as like when you're like doing good work for like a social cause or something, right? Praxis is the process by which a theory, lesson, or skill is enacted, embodied, realized, applied, or put to practice. Okay, it's just the doing of things. Well, Zen pilling is necessary, so good shit. Okay, that's kind of fun. We need to make the chords probably bigger. Oh, something I was thinking of actually. Right before I started streaming, I was like, ooh, here's a fun idea. So we got this guy. Actually, I should probably duplicate this whole thing. We right? It's just a sine wave operator, slight FM, and we got some like pitch envelope stuff. And I'm wondering. Oh, and there's a delay, right? What I want to know. Well, one, let's make the release short. Why? Oh, this guy. Oh, the release is too short. It has to be just short enough. Okay, how long is the pitch envelope? Pitch envelope decay is 400 milliseconds. Oh no. Anyways, we'll set this to like that's fun. But what I want is, what if we have one that's going up or down? And they're like interspersed in the delay. So I think to do that, we can set up. We're gonna have one guy that's pitched up by 44%, one that's pitched down, and then the one that's pitched up, we can add a delay, just offset by 100%, and then we'll turn you down a little bit. So like without the delay. That kind of does the thing. I don't know. How else can I have to put this in another group, I think? And then I can put this delay here. And then we can start doing stuff, so we can map... Oh, fuck. Oh, God, this is going to be awful. Okay, so we map pitch envelope to that guy, and then we can map the pitch envelope of the downward thing onto that guy. And then we're going to invert, clearly. And then we'll put that there. And then we got to take the delay. We'll turn off sync. We'll map the time there. And then we'll also... I want this to be double the amount of time, right? I think I want this to be double the time of this, because it's going to play the thing, play the other thing, and then I want both of these to delay with 2 times, but with a high feedback. I'm not sure how to do that. Except, wait, this guy... Where's all the... Why did I hear multiple? There we go, okay. That's cool. And then there's a normal delay here. I guess we could just have this delay operate separately. So we have that there, and then we have that there. So I don't know. Main delay. I don't know what to call this other one, but that's kind of a cool sound. I'm digging it. Except over here we want some inversions. Ooh. Okay. It's 5e. This honestly, we don't need too much going on. We just, I guess let's just keep adding layers so that we can end up like deconstructing. Sounds like those wobbly metal sheets. Oh yeah, they do. That is true. Definitely do. Because like when they wobble, it changes pitch. So we got, okay, we're gonna have, I don't know, some other thing here. And then this guy. I guess we want that turned on. We'll turn off that. And then here. And then, I don't know. Okay. We need a counter melody, some other main thing going on, right? Probably use this guy. Right, this guy's just so quirky and fun. We can fold. That looks really cool in the spectrogram. Okay. It's actually super cool because like the top pitch bent one comes, they're both pitching into each other, so it like deconstructs and then reconstructs as they meet through like, you know, phase cancellation, whatever. What happens if we distort this? Are we on the right thing? You. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's not gonna sound good because it volume fluctuates so crazy, like... Yeah, that's that all... Yeah, okay, I get it. The way the dynamics in that sound is pretty fucking nutty. that's pretty. That's a kind of fun sound. It definitely needs like work. Isn't like super clean, but like I think it can like complement a later section or something. We want bubbles for sure. This is such a bubbly song. It has no doubt in my mind. I hear so much clicking now. Okay. Okay, it's the sidechain being fucky lucky. Where's the addictive drums? These guys. Yeah, let's just get rid of the room. Oh. And we need like we can make more sounds with the bells. The drums? I think we just need to like add progression with more percussion, probably. Like we just need something that sounds decent. I have nothing that sounds decent. And then we'll turn off the grid and just do, you know, some of that. We can highlight all that. Okay. And then we're just gonna take all these and chuck it there. it so quiet? Huh. It's not going through at all. Oh, I turned off the sidechain. What is with the reverb, man? Where's it coming from? Kick, snare. There we go. Okay. I think the chord progression gets boring now. I have been listening to this on loop nonstop the whole time. What's up, Renaissance? How is it going? I guess we're making drums at the moment, and I've been listening to these chords over and 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 over again. And now I'm starting to get bummed out by the song. I need to just... Okay, that's smart. That's smart. I should like listen. Something I usually end up doing a ton of subtractive work, like very late in the production process. But like just soloing this now, I can already tell. Okay, this stuff is way too busy because it already sounds too busy when I only have the drum soloed, right? Okay, sounding a little bit better. And then, oh, I already have a bloom on here. I shouldn't mix into a bloom. Okay, this could be a time for wobbly clams, I think. It's in solo. Yeah, for the drums at least I was doing that. Maybe I should make new wobbly clams for once. Maybe. I can't. They're too good. They are way too good. Too good of a sound. I use it like every time. It's, And then we need one over here. So what do we got? We can also try... you're uncomfortable. Snare's too loud now. I don't know. Oh, we already have an auto filter. I kind of just like that. Just the overall. I started off by doing too much solo, but learning that it's definitely balanced, like 80-20 thing, 80 full track, 20 soloing out stuff. Yeah, it can definitely, like, if you keep work on how things sound in solo, that's not actually what it sounds like, because, you know, the listener listens to it in full. But definitely in, like, the composition process, I think, and just, like, realizing for busy sections what should and shouldn't even belong, like drums, for instance. Like, I realized, oh, there's so much stuff going on that didn't that wasn't good or wasn't adding anything or was getting muddy just in the solo drums alone. When I was playing with the chords and everything at the same time, then you can't even tell. Okay, we want another auto filter for sure. No, not that. Don't do that. And then okay. And then new sound over here. I said new sound over here. And we're gonna take, obviously we take the chords as a default. Let's assign color, so this is all the right color. All right. I also want these notes at the same time, just so I know exactly what's going on. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Take all of these, and we're just going to stretch just this guy out. Yeah. And then we'll take, oh, this is getting difficult. Then we'll take all of these. Oh, that was basically that. And then I need to make sure that I have the scale that's behind all this, and I'll take that. But there, okay, that took forever. Okay. Christ, get me out here. Oh God. Just realized I had the reverb send off the entire time. Okay, that does sound pretty terrible. Da-da-da. More risers, bunch of risers. We're gonna make this like texture. And then we need filters to open up, obviously. So they're gonna go like that, and then it's gonna jump up, and then we're gonna go like that, and then it's gonna jump down, and then we're gonna also now do that, and then that turns up there. Okay. Now, this section needs to be, we need to expand on this a lot more before we go into the breakdown, for sure. Here, we can start adding markers. Breakdown. Okay, let's shove that over there. And then duplicate that. Okay, what can we do? Let's take our weird-ass bell sounds. No, 23 Ito this is we're in a tuning system that divides the octave into 23 notes instead of 12. So what's really cool about 23 is that it sucks like really badly, like so badly for how many notes that it has, that it makes it super unique. So it's got a very particular and really weird sound, and it's also really difficult to write good music in it, but I think that makes it like really ripe for exploration. Yeah, it's good. There's like a bajillion different tuning systems, infinitely many, I suppose. But 23 is like the largest amount of notes you can get, or like it's the smallest. I don't know how to word this right. Basically, nothing else has that many notes and sucks as bad as that at approximating different harmonic intervals. So the perfect fifth is terrible in it. So you can't really... having harmony that's structured around like consonant perfect fifth chords or whatever is going to be like really difficult to pull off. Still possible, but you have to be like pretty conscious about your like the timbre that you're using and stuff like that. So like bell-like timbres, you know, things that sound kind of like gongs. Like right here, I'm using a slightly, I'm inharmonically frequency modulating, or phase modulating, I guess. This thing here, which creates kind of a bell sound. Which, like, you know, if it sounds inharmonic, then you can get away with more stuff. Or using sine waves, things that are really like sine wave heavy. The like less amount of partials or harmonics that you have, the more you can get away with like dissonance, I suppose, in a way without it feeling like too jarring. So it's a hoot. It's really cool. The scale that we're writing in, so I'm gonna start spewing theory at you. Basically, the perfect fifth in 23 notes per octave is like 670 cents or something. Where can we see that? Over here. So the actual 3/2 ratio is 702 cents. So you get two perfect fifths here. One that's super flat and one that's super sharp. And if you build a scale by constantly stacking the super flat, whoa. I just became like very self-aware of a room mode in my room when my head is positioned in this very particular. That's cool. I've never noticed that before. It's also annoying. So if you build a scale by constantly stacking that interval on top of itself over and over and over again, which is the perfect fifth, you end up creating like a major scale. But the major scale is super flat, and it ends up, it basically, it's called an anti-major, an anti-diatonic scale, in that you end up having 5 small steps and 2 large steps, as opposed to 5 large steps and 2 small steps. So everything inverts. So, you know, like a major third is 2 large steps, right? Well, your large steps are now small, so your major third is now a minor third. And your minor third is now going to turn into a major third. So when you end up building that scale, all of your interval qualities end up flipping. All of your chord qualities end up flipping. Instead of a diminished fifth, you get an augmented fifth. So now you have an augmented chord as your like Locrian scale chord thing, which Locrian is now called anti-Locrian. And Lydian, normally the brightest scale, is now the darkest. It's basically Locrian in diatonic, but it's the anti-Lydian scale, right? So it's the inverse of that. And then anti-Locrian is now the brightest scale, and it has an augmented fifth in it. So I'm playing in anti-Phrygian, which is, you know, Phrygian, right? But, you know, the inverse. So we start off with a large step instead of a small step. And then, you know, we got, if you follow the note pattern, it's basically Phrygian, but everything's inverted. And the reason why is because Anti-Phrygian is essentially like the closest thing you can get to Ionian or the major scale, because the major scale is like the second brightest scale. Well, Anti-Phrygian is the second brightest scale because Phrygian is the second darkest, so you invert it and then it ends up becoming bright again. There's like so many like cool symmetries and similarities and stuff going on, and it's super cool. So in this, I believe, yeah. So I'm playing just like a major 1 chord, right? And then I'm playing the 4th degree chord, which normally, if am I tripping? This should be, that's an augmented 5th, I think. No, it's not. I don't know anything. A G chord would be an augmented 5th. So you have, so that's like ends up becoming slightly augmented. So you end up getting a chord that has a 5th that's a little bit too bright, which sounds cool. And it's off in like just the same amount of way. So yeah, the motivation is it's fucking neat. I don't know. The theory is really interesting. Crunching numbers is fun, and then it also will end up sounding entirely unique and like something you've never heard before. So like that's the goal, right? So you know it's difficult, but the idea is it's going to be super rewarding. And I think if you can like pull off making a good song, like an actually good song using like weird ass tuning systems, they end up becoming like so much more memorable and like profound simply because it's something you've literally never heard before in your life. So that's what's going on here. But yeah, 23 sucks basically, and that's what makes it so cool. You know, it's like the most inconsequential or uninteresting number that there is profoundly it's inherently then interesting for being so uninteresting. There's like kind of some stuff going on here. And there's not that much music made in it. So some music here, let me find a thing. Here we go. So here, this is a composition made by some dude in the 80s, I think. He was like one of the first like macrotonalists who like started like really going in deep with different like octave divisions, because synthesizers like synthesizers were starting to pop off, and he was able to like figure out a way to tune everything differently. And so this is based on I think a lot of like different Indonesian scales, because you can approximate certain like interesting like gamelan, or is gamelan Indonesia? I think so. You can start approximating different scales from different like cultures and stuff like that. So like the anti-diatonic scale I was talking about is very similar to a very particular scale from a tribe in Mozambique. So anyways, I'll play this for a second, but so it took me, honestly, like the first time I listened to this, I was just like, this is terrifying, turn it off, and I just never listened to it. I was going to say again, but obviously I have. But the more I listened to it, and the more familiar I became with it, the more I realized like how genius this piece is, and like how well structured it is. Like at first it feels like kind of just like random notes. I really didn't understand what was going on, and it was just like a lot of unfamiliar sounds. But the more you like immerse yourself into like weird tunings, the more your ear becomes like accepting of different colors and sounds like that. So I don't know, this sounds fucking awesome to me, but it just sounds so alien. Anyways, and then some music using the diatonic, or also called the Mavila scale, because I think the tribe that the scale was based on is called like the Mavila tribe or something. Do I like making music in a tracker? I don't know what that means. I make everything in Ableton. I just do everything right here. It's a vibe. Anyways, this is cool. It's a lot of like balafon, like what are the like marimba like stuff. So like a lot of the timbres of everything are like usually things with kind of short releases, not that many like super dense harmonics, some inharmonic stuff just because they're like percussive instruments hit with mallets. Yeah, it sounds super cool. No, I do not use any of that. Anyways, so those are some of the inspirations for all of this, and yeah, I just want to make something fucking cool and interesting. So last stream from yesterday, I spent like 2 hours trying to make something, and it all sounded like shit. And so here we are again, and it's sounding a little bit better. I changed up one of the chords. Let's move these back, and then let's take an auto filter, and then the auto filter can open up on this, and then this can serve as like a quote-unquote fill. So fun fact, this MIDI is that piece from the 80s I was just talking about. I found all the MIDI and stuff. What scale would I recommend for trance music? I don't know, harmonic minor, something with augmented seconds is always like really fun. But like if you're making like synth wave or something, just probably just like minor, honestly. Like you can never go wrong with minor. Unless you're like asking about like a microtonal scale, in which case 22 is really cool and like pretty user friendly. Okay, we need like a whole ass bunch of new stuff happening. We should probably keep the hi-hats playing in this section. And it needs to like build an energy a little bit more. Let's get a shaker, maybe? If I could figure out African shakers could be super cool, because this is like clearly, you know, we have some like inspirations from tribes in Mozambique, but I don't know how I'm gonna make that work. Let's run out with E minor and Lydian. If you want to get spicier than that, Phrygian is really fun. So just like really emphasize the minor second interval right above your tonic. I don't know, it sounds super cool and pretty dark, especially if you're making like trance or something. I guess I'm not super familiar with trance. I guess I just think of like psytrance, more aggressive stuff, but Phrygian is fun. I don't know why I repitched that. I was just kind of subconsciously doing that. Actually, that's kind of cool because it makes the beginning of the sample sound different. So if I just make this one not transpose, then this is now a unique loop. Anyways, let's take this, duplicate. U will be panned left, and then over here we're going to pan this to the right. Too much panning, too much. And then we need to EQ out some of the lows on this guy. Ever use any hardware samplers? No. The only hardware thing I own is I have an Osmos. Oh, that's cool. Right now it's tuned. Right. I was trying to learn. I have an Osmo synth. Here, let me turn it on. It's a hoot. It's super cool. I was trying to figure out, and I need to spend some time doing this, learning to play 23 Edo on the fucking keyboard, which is a nightmare because your octave is going to be from C3 to B4 is one octave. And then your perfect fifth is 13 notes. So it's going to be C to C sharp. And the octave above is going to be your perfect fifth. And nothing repeats at an octave. So like I'm just trying to like stay within 1 octave and just kind of like intuit and figure out different intervals. It's a nightmare, but if I could figure that out, then I could probably like get some kind of decent ideas going. An old tape recorder. That sounds fun. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. You can just like record, I don't know, whatever, samples and try to repeat it. Or like you can like make sound design and then try recording it with a tape recorder, and then like the tape recorder will fuck with the sound in a way, and then you can try to like record that into your DAW or something, maybe. I don't know, try to get some like vintage sound in there. Be an experiment. Why does it... like, it sucks right there. Let's go. And then not only that, I probably need to add like an arpeggiator or something, like some arpeggiating melody over top. That's probably it. Da, 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 da. I'm kind of happy with how this is turning out. It's very bright and happy, which I didn't expect to make something bright and happy in a tuning this fucked, so. And then we just ARP it. Oh, this is actually perfect. Okay, so you know, for more difficult tunings, it's better to use like timbres that aren't like super rich, or inharmonic timbres like bells and percussive stuff, right? And you know, normally I could like get something like that by like FMing something where it's like detuned. And like if it's perfectly in tune, it's gonna sound super harmonic, but we want it to sound kind of inharmonic. But I can use more interesting intervals, still keeping it quote-unquote harmonic, but keeping it complex. So like I set this to be the 4th harmonic, and I transpose it down, you know, 24 semitones, which is 2 octaves, which is, you know, 4 is 2 to the 2nd power. And then we can have this guy playing the 7th harmonic, and now we have a 4:7 ratio. Which like starts to sound cool, right? Obviously 8:4 is a 2-to-1, but like 9:4 sounds pretty complex. Anyways, I have not messed around with Bitwig. It looks really cool, and I swear every day I'm like tempted a little bit more to learn it, but I have a YouTube channel kind of dedicated to teaching and using Ableton, so I feel like I'm kind of in too deep. Also, I already know Ableton, and like I'm curious about how much utility it's actually going to give me to relearn an entire DAW versus just sticking with and getting better at the one I already know really well. Do I like Corpus? I don't really use it that often, but it's pretty cool. My buddy Peyton, Rhizomorphic, he makes really fucking cool sounds just using like Corpus into an overdrive and then just playing around with different whatever the modal modeling engine thing is, you know, like Beam and String or whatever, like switching between the different modes and then having the tune like really low and then having some sort of like pitch bend automation with that, with a high feedback into a distortion, then you move or an overdrive distortion, and then you move the overdrive filter around. And then you just like start automating all of it in different ways. You can get really crazy, like kind of neuro-bassy sounds, but they're all like super pitch bend. And since it's got that like physical modeling synth thing in it, they sound like a lot more natural. It's a pretty cool sound. And I messed around with it like a couple times for like sound design, just messing around, but I don't really use it that much. I don't use overdrive that much either. Those are definitely two neglected effects of mine. And then let's take a auto filter, and then auto filter high resonance, and then we'll do that sounds kind of like boring. It gets boring pretty quickly, but it's okay for now. I can probably evolve it or change it in some other way. How else can we pick this up and make it more interesting? I can try throwing more clam sounds, like we can like it's just kind of cool sounding, man. Sometimes not having any fun in the DAW. It can be fun with the right MIDI controller. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been a big just in the box person. Like, I haven't used anything outside of the box up until pretty recently when I got the synthesizer. And for the most part, I haven't, like, I'm not doing much of the actual writing process with the synthesizer. Yeah, exactly. It's software doing it in the box is just like objectively just like so much better. Hard to compete. Okay, this thing sucks. This guy fucking sucks, dude. You fucking suck, bro. That's a little bit better. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I didn't even intend on that happening, but I like it. And speaking of overdrive, if we take an LFO, and then the LFO we map to this. What do we even have? Let's listen on the big speaker. Maybe that'll change my perception, give me a better idea of like how to take this or whatever. This is kind of lame so far, but have this experience where everything you hear is cool and you write good music, and then everything you hear sounds like shit, you write like shit? Everything sounds bad vibe without waiting. Well, yesterday, I absolutely hated literally everything I made and tried to make, even though some of it had like some potential, like in hindsight, none of it was good. Like I was definitely right about that, but like I was just like so fed up and just hated the sound of everything. I didn't want to bother trying to fix or like progress on the thing. This here, like this doesn't sound good, but like it has potential, so I'm like I'm still motivated, you know? So I don't know, it's definitely a mental thing. It's a mental game, really. You're just kind of working with and against yourself. Let's what's up with the drop? So like drop has like the immediate like kick drum sound pitch bend, but then it continues to drop down for a while after. I'm deeply confused, man. Well, I think it's good to think about it. I think it's good to like address or understand why it is that you feel that way. Understand that it is a thing that your brain is doing. You know, your brain is just like a physical part of your body. It's an organ, you know, that can like have good days and bad days and misbehave or whatever. Understand that and give yourself, you know, time to breathe or whatever, and try to like understand where else is like kind of coming from. Like I remember last year I went through like a super annoying like depressive episode about like my art and my music and feeling like I'm a fraud or whatever. Like I feel like most people go through that, like pretty, like most artists do, and I deal with that like probably like 2 or 3 times a year. And that particular time I was like, okay, well, I feel like shit about my music and this is gonna pass, but what can I do about it? Why do I feel this way? What is it that I'm lacking? How can I use this as a learning moment instead of just moping around and being a big old baby? And I realized that like there's like a lot of gaps in my knowledge that I wanted to fix. Like I wanted to know music theory, for instance. I didn't know any music theory. I didn't know how to play any like melodic or harmonic instruments like a piano or whatever. My composing ability to write melodies in general just sucked. And so I took an active approach to learn all that shit. So like I studied counterpoint specifically with the intention of improving my melodies. Like none of that requires, like that doesn't require creative brain, you know? I'm not making music, I'm practicing. And the act of practicing can also be really rewarding because you're making an effort to improve. While that doesn't rely on luck or chance, you know? Because making a good song is chance, it's up to chance. Like, I think it's a general rule that, like, 90% of what you make is going to be shit. So it's kind of a numbers game, as well as, you know, like, the work you put in and how good you are as a producer. Whatever's quote-unquote good will be, like, it'll be higher up. But, like, even so, I'm sure even the best artists, they have, like, one good song for every 10 attempts. They're just trying to make music all the fucking time, you know? There's a reason why people who, you know, spend full time trying to make music only put out like one album every 2 years or whatever of like 10 or 13 songs. You know, it's fucking hard. But putting intentional effort. You're 43 and you feel shitty that you did not study music theory. Well, I'm assuming that means you do know it now, because I remember being very, very frustrated. I was like, damn, I wish I learned this when I was like 19 and I first started out. Instead of putting it off, because I was like, you don't need music theory to make music, which no, you don't, not at all. And it might have been that my my aspirations at the time didn't align with needing music theory. Like I just wanted to make like beats and make like dubstep, and you don't really need music theory to make dubstep. But guess what? My like vision for what I wanted to do as an artist, the types of music I wanted to make as I got better started to expand, and then fuck, wouldn't you know it, I should learn some music theory. And yeah, it's super interesting stuff. So, yeah, people should learn music theory. It is cool. And you should learn an instrument. Just like piano, just like keyboard. Just understand like chord shapes and stuff like that. I was very, very, very stubborn about all that to begin with. And that is definitely a big regret. But I'm glad that, you know, I made the effort. And before you know it, I mean, I've been studying music theory. That was like almost 1 year ago. It was like 10 months ago. And I know a fuck ton of music theory now. It felt super daunting, but like I can follow along with like most any like subject or whatever. But I've gotten like pretty obsessive about like microtonal music theory and stuff like that lately, which that is still an endless and deep rabbit hole. But even beyond all of that, it's just interesting. It's just a fun hobby. It's just really cool to read and study and like analyze and do all of that. And it makes your music a little bit more interesting in the process, because it gives you different ideas and stuff to work on. I'm playing too much Counter-Strike. Yeah, there's a reason. I used to be hopelessly addicted to Dota 2, and I cannot play Dota 2. It is bad for me. I'm generally careful about video games. They are time sinks. They're cool. They have their time and place. And, you know, life is about enjoying yourself and whatnot. But like my philosophy has been about, let's try to make the things that I enjoy doing in life being things that make me feel fulfilled, which is like music, you know. Like I can play the Elder Scrolls Oblivion for hours and hours and hours and hours. That's just like my go-to game, just because it like brings me back to like my childhood. It's got like a big nostalgia vibe or whatever, but it doesn't give me anything. It's just escapism, you know. And especially like competitive games. I don't know about you with Counter-Strike or whatever, but like Dota 2 like makes you like such a fucking miserable person. Those like team-based games, League of Legends, all that shit, they're terrible. But they're so fun. Yeah, video games bad, music good. Try to figure out ways to have fun with music. You focus on making your vision more clear. Yeah, I think a good And I've been considering like making a YouTube video or whatever, like on this kind of topic, straying a little bit away from sound design tips or whatever, and more so on like psychology of, you know, being a music producer. But really just analyze like what are your weak points and what are your strong points. Like, is your mixing, like how do your mixes sound good? Are you proud? I mean, no one likes their own mixes, of course. Everyone can hear all their own flaws, but like, are you progressing well in like how polished your mixes and masters sound is like one thing. You know, how are your melodies, or like your, I don't know, your more melodic chord progressions, harmonies, are they basic? Are they interesting? How's your sound design? How's your structuring of songs in a more large scale scheme? Like all these different aspects. You could focus on them and then specifically work on improving them. You know, if your buildups all suck, and like every buildup you have is just, you just slowly like double time drums and just repeat like one element and then like half time it, or whatever, double time and then double time and then double time, it's fucking boring. Spend some deliberate effort, you know, watch a tutorial on like making interesting buildups, or just spend some time making different, more interesting risers, and just like emphasizing doing something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone that addresses a problem in your production that you're neglecting. Because if you just keep making music, you're just going to keep neglecting that problem unless you make an effort to like lightly change it, you know? So that was me with like melody and counterpoint and music theory and all of that stuff. It's like, me personally, I don't need to learn more sound design. It's not going to do anything for my music at this point. Not really. I can make sound design porn and people will be like, wow, the sound design, but like there's a limit to how interesting that can be, I think, at least for my goals, because I want to make stuff that is like memorable and gives people emotions and like would encourage someone to play it all the time, that might make a song that might like remind someone of a time in their life because they really like that song at some point. You know, that's kind of my goal. And so it's a whole like big package of different things you need to understand, and just be honest with yourself and figure out where you're lacking and where you're not, and just address those things. And I think that's like a really helpful way to, I don't know, that's a good way to improve for sure, because you kind of are your weakest link. Your sound design is great, but the song is just like an uninteresting idea, or like melodically kind of boring, then like guess what, it's an uninteresting and boring song. Who cares about your sound design? You know, if you're just ripping off another producer's style, well, you're just another producer style ripoff, you know? So, yeah, on a small scale, I'm focusing on a couple things lately, but large scale, I don't know where I want to be with music in, I don't know, 1 year, 5 years type thing. I mean, the only real goal you should have, I think, is just to improve upon what you are now. And that's the only metric you should really be comparing yourself with. Especially with like what your music is. Like, you should absolutely not be comparing yourself in terms of like numbers or listeners, because that shit is all luck. Well, if you put like serious effort into marketing, like I have a couple friends who are like really good at marketing and they really love the whole entire process of marketing and analytics and figuring out different ways to curate playlists and get their music heard and talk to other artists and networking. And that does work. That absolutely does work. But I think the main goals for everyone should just be to like make better music, and by that regard, you just need to improve. So it's just like consistent effort, listening to good music. That's another thing I keep thinking of, is like one of the biggest aspects to improving as a producer, I think, is to listen to really good music. Okay, I have in my head, I have this thing called objectively good and like subjectively good music. You know, there is objectively bad music out there that you can enjoy, right? And I would consider something objectively bad is something that doesn't present anything new. Think about every song as like a thesis, like a PhD thesis, in that it's supposed to synthesize something new, some conjoining concepts. Maybe the lyrics are about something unique. Maybe the combination of the chord progressions with the genre, with the like type of drum swing or whatever, that all those combined elements and the lyrics, they all combine it to make something new. It doesn't have to be particularly crazy new, you know? You're not whatever, but like you can't make a song that is like basically identical to some other song. Like rhythm as a genre, like 99% of the stuff there is so formalized that you can play like 16 random songs all at the same time and then just chop randomly between them, and you can't even tell that they're different songs. So what was I talking about? I just started shitting on Rhythm. The main goal should just be to just make an interesting song, and for that reason you need to listen to like interesting music that actually does that. And especially in like regards to, let's say, like mixing or whatever, like if you listen to music that isn't mixed well, you're basically training yourself to accept music that isn't. There we go. Yeah, eighth note subs, all at F0, 44 hertz. You just like, if you listen to really good music, then you're going to train your ear to like make good music just as a result. It's just like something that kind of happens by osmosis. Like I remember like when I first discovered like Tipper, and like I listened to a lot of like Easy Jack and like Detox Unit, and who's like their mixes are like really fucking good because it's like a high fidelity sound system culture. Just by pure osmosis of listening to them, I got better at mixing. Yeah. Okay, wait. I missed a few words. A lot of people typed real quick. Okay, you have too many distractions, bought way too many hardware synths that sit in boxes. Yeah, I hear like gear acquisition syndrome is definitely real. I'm like starting to get there because I bought this fucking the Osmos, and I really want a Lumitone, but that costs $4,000, so I can't do that. It's probably a good thing because then I would just keep buying shit. So technically all synths are the same, just different flavors of sound. I mean, yeah, I suppose, and that you could argue, I guess you can argue that like all synthesizers are an instrument that are like pretty infinitely deep in their own ways, and you can like dedicate plenty of time to them and be fully satisfied. You don't need to get a whole bunch of different ones. Obviously, like different synths have different sounds, but I'm assuming that's what you're getting at. Unique is value 100%. And what's up, theme? Need to trim the fat a bit, remove distractions, and focus on creating new tracks. Yeah, I mean, really, it's like, again, it's like a numbers game. It's just like making as much music as you can, doing like opening your DAW every day. Not necessarily making as much music as you can, but just like, yeah, just it's an experience. It's just hours put into it, time put into it, and deliberate effort to improve. Because I think some people don't want to improve. They're happy with where they're at, or they don't know that they should be putting in deliberate effort, I suppose. They're just not putting in deliberate effort. They're just doing the thing over and over again, and then you can get stuck in like patterns, I suppose. Which, like, I do that. Everyone does that. But trying to remind yourself of like, oh, okay, I'm doing that. My music is boring now because I keep doing the same thing. Basically talking about progress in music. Yeah. Do I like synthwave? I haven't listened to synthwave since I was like in high school, but I used to really like the Hotline Miami 2 soundtrack. The soundtrack fucks. Very good. Okay, alright. I'm caught up. I think that was good enough rambling. I don't remember what the song sounds like, so let's hear it. Mix sucks. Okay, that sucks ass. It's so bad. Be gone. Oh, you know what we can do? Not arpeggiate it. Let's add. Let's make that. Let's get. Okay. Thoughts on synthesis versus sample workflow. Honestly, I got really good at doing sound design while I'm making the song. So a lot of people, yeah, I'm just reading the comment about Hotline Miami because that game's so fucking good. Yeah, they're great. I got really good at doing sound design like while I'm producing, which I think is like a really good skill to like build a workflow. So like a lot of my YouTube videos, for instance, are on building sound design generators or building large racks where you just chuck like one sound into it and then it just spits out variations really quickly. I think that's super important because, I don't know, if you want to have like interesting sound design, then the sound design should be unique to that song and built up out of elements in that song, because you're taking, hey, here's this element, here's this chord in the song, well guess what, I'm going to transform this chord into a bunch of different sounds, as opposed to, I suppose, if you build like get a bunch of mud pies or large sound design sessions and start chopping them up, then like your sounds are all going to be like, oh, I sound like that mud pie session, which that's like not entirely the right way to look at it. Mud pies are super important and I use them all the time, like all the wobbly clams here, you know. I love those sounds. I got them from mud pie sessions, and as a result, they really help my overall sound and all my songs, because like I really love these sounds and I use them all the time. So now they're starting to sound like kind of like a signature. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, just I don't know. I like doing sound design. I don't often do the mud pie thing anymore, but yeah. All right, challenging yourself during sessions, like making bad shit. Yeah, deliberate. Yeah, so like what I'm doing now, I'm forcing myself to make stuff in an awful tuning. I mean, it's like really interesting. I wouldn't say awful is the right way to put it, because you know every tuning is good. I love all of them equally, but it's really difficult to write music in just because it's so alien. And I think if I get really good at writing music in this tuning, then like I'm gonna be good at writing music in any scenario, you know, just because it's such a challenge if I'm able to succeed in like the most difficult place. So and it just sounds really interesting. Yeah, Hotline Miami is formative to my taste, definitely. Same. Like probably one of the main reasons why I got like super into like electronic music, honestly, because I listened to that stuff a lot like right before I started like going to raves and stuff like that. Been thinking about that lately. Like I kind of think that the only real autonomy comes from setting your environment up to promote the body to do what you want to have happen. That is really good. Yeah, great point. Absolutely. I think that's just like overall good life advice, you know. Yeah, like if you eat healthy and exercise, well, guess what? By proxy of that, you're going to be in a better mental space because your body doesn't feel like shit. And then as a product of that, you're going to make better music. It's just all that like comes together. You know, challenging yourself, do beat battles all the time. Yeah, beat battles are super useful, especially for speeding up workflow, letting you not be attached to certain things. Because if you're just like, okay, I have 15 minutes to do a thing, the very first idea you spit out, you're sticking with it, you might realize that like that works, you know, like the ideas can be good as long as you get something done. And then you're just making stuff faster. Beat battles are good. I've talked about doing beat battles before. I don't know if I would have like, I feel like I don't really have the maybe. There's been more people watching his streams regularly lately. Like last time I talked about it was like 3 people were watching to like 1 to 5 people at a time. Now lately it's been like 8 to 10. If everyone participated, that's like that's plenty. But beat battles can be cool. Yeah. Oh, another thing, giving feedback and getting feedback from other producers is huge. Absolutely. So like one of my homies, Ace, who I became friends with him over Discord like a year and a half ago, something like that. We would just send tracks back and forth and critique each other and just talk about what parts we like subjectively, what objectively doesn't work, mixing stuff, and it like has absolutely helped both of us progress a lot. And then as another result, in my own Discord, I have a fucking a feedback. Oh god, I didn't give any feedback to anyone here. Oh no. I have a feedback thing, and I give feedback to people all the time in this, and it trains my ear because I'm listening to other people's mixes who have mixed things using sounds that I don't normally do and techniques I don't normally do, so it's unfamiliar to me, and so I have to like critically listen, and it has absolutely strengthened my ear. And y'all don't do it enough. I know that because I'm usually the only person giving feedback in here. Sometimes you do. But either way, you should give feedback because you're cheating yourself if you don't. And it also helps out someone else, which is also nice. And you should get feedback because, you know, things will be pointed out to you by people who have better hearing than you or a better sound setup, or they just have a different like place where they're coming from, and they're not sitting with the biases that you have for like listening to the same song. 500 times in a row while you made it. You just set a timer? Yeah, I mean, I think... So the Whittler used to live stream like super often. He hasn't done that in a while though. But he used to have like beat challenges like every week on like Wednesdays. I know there's a lot of like music producers and like music like producer YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff like that who will have like beat challenges where they'll give you a sample and then you have to like make an entire beat using that one sample, or you have to make something in some weird specific like made up genre or something. And then you have like 20, 30, 40 minutes or whatever to do it. But you could also just set a timer and just make like, I don't know, you could set a 20-minute timer and make a beat, and then just do it again, make a beat, do it again, make a beat. And then you have 3 different beats, and then make your goal connect all of the different beats together. So like you just make all the beats in the same project file, and then you could like try to stitch them all together. And then your next goal is going to be, how the fuck am I going to bridge these different sections together? And then before you know it, you'll have like an EP. Like I have a friend of mine who he would write entire EPs in one Ableton project file because it was so useful for like the linearity and the like overall listening experience of just like shitting out beats really quickly and then using elements from that to like reflect in different parts. And then, just doing that for like 15 minutes of time or whatever. That could be cool. There's a lot of ways to go about it. Yeah. Online music communities in general have been huge for development. Yeah, absolutely. Get help from people, get feedback, learn what works and what doesn't. Take feedback with a grain of salt because everyone is biased. Take advice with a grain of salt because people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, including me. Don't take anything I say as gospel. Find out for yourself. However, you'll find out that I'm right all the time because I'm right. But, don't take my word for it. That's cool, but also an EP in one project would make in particular, the friend I was talking about, he was making trap beats where like you can make a full-fledged song in like 20 tracks or something, and with like somewhat minimal like automation or whatever. So like it varies, but I remember I made this was like 6 years ago, but I made like a whole like mix or EP like from scratch in just one file. It was like 20 minutes long. And I made it for like my brother was doing a D&D campaign and he needed like ambient music where they're like sailing at sea, and it was honestly a really, really fun project because I basically made like 20 minutes of audio that would just loop. It was just a bunch of different soundtracks and it was really fun. You should use the feedback section more. You should. And you should give feedback too. You should all give fucking feedback. I'm pointing at all of you. Except for like Lucas, I think. I think Lucas gives no, XN does. I don't know. Some of you do. Lucas did recently. Good shit. Anyways. There's more people talking. Meeting other producers for the first time was also like shocking. Okay. Yeah, when I started producing, I was already like kind of deep into a rave scene. So like I was starting out at the same time as a bunch of my homies were starting out. What's also been really cool is we've all been getting better at the same time and have all been like kind of, I don't know, just seeing like some of my friends who were like noobs when I was noobs are now like touring and shit and like playing with like massive artists and have like all sorts of collabs and stuff. It's been super cool and super inspiring. So I've just like kind of always been talking to producers and DJs, though I am terrible at collaborating. It doesn't work very well. Top 3 synth VSTs. I mostly use stock Ableton stuff, but Pigments is really cool. I like Pigments a lot. It's got good presets. It's really intuitive to make sounds. It has an additive synth in there, though I think the additive synth is kind of weak relative to other additive synths. It's just really, really user-friendly and really easy to learn and sounds good. Harmer's pretty cool, though not intuitive at all. But I like it a lot because it's probably the most powerful additive synth, and I like additive synths a lot. And you could do the like scan a picture and then create a sound that has a spectrogram of the picture thing in it. That's pretty fun. I don't know. I don't really use that many synths besides like that. I use Reactor every now, or Razor, but Razor's pretty outdated, I feel like, in the UI, and it also bugs the fuck out sometimes and doesn't play notes when I want. and I have to spend another $100 if I want to upgrade it so I can get the full version of Reaktor, so I can open up Razor because I want to modify it such that I can play microtonal notes, and so I can increase the partial limit because it's like limited to partials. So I still have to do that, but I think those are like all the synths that I use for the most part. I don't really use Serum anymore. Whenever I did use Serum, I would literally just use like the basic shapes waveform and then just play around with the coarse pitch, because the coarse pitch controls in Serum is really good. But I don't really use Serum. I hear Vital's really good and Phase Plant, but I don't really know. Again, I mostly just do resampling and stuff in the box. So yeah. Yeah, Pigments is good. It goes on sale. You'll be able to get it for like $100 cheaper if you wait until Black Friday, but you know, that might be a while. Okay, we clearly need some sort of hat to be playing on every single note, and then we'll have that guy already playing on the other notes. That's not a hat. Fuck it. We'll have that guy playing on the ones that isn't playing. Okay, that sounds terrible. A deep dive. I have like 5 videos, all on specific applications of Pigments. I'm not Pigments, the spellbook. I am. Bam. All like pretty different stuff. So like this one is like using as a random seed, like LFO, whatever. You can like automate one lane and then you're randomly automating like 8 other lanes, so you get better control over it. This one is basically that again. This one, you use it as a circular LFO to create a giant Chapertone rack. This one's probably the coolest. Here I use it to create stereo imaging, so you're using it as polar coordinates to pan things around in stereo space and then apply like Doppler shift and binaural delays depending on where it's located along the circle, because the circle is basically a UI interface for 3D space. It's kind of cool. This one uses the random shit again. That's basically, those are like the usual reasons why I use it. So yeah. I just got Viper VST, which is a Virus TI. Ooh, that's cool. I still need to do that. I feel like I was given or told how to find another emulator, though I don't remember it being called Viper, but I definitely should. Okay, this guy, we need this guy to be like larger in the mix and also like wide. I was kind of hoping it would have like a little bit of noise. How am I gonna do this? Just an envelope follower? Why is it so... Oh, it's because of the OTT, right? Oh, I forgot that I made that sound and then started yapping for like 30 minutes. That's kind of cool though, honestly. Maybe, how do I... LFO, sustain, no. I want... forgot how to envelope. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna record out all the audio from this and then let's make glitchy sounds from it. Cool. And then let's hit Command Z, undo the automation, put this here. And then, as I was talking about before, we can take, let's get a sound generator, Formant glitch generator. It's a cool challenge to try to build racks and stuff in FL. Yeah, I think that's good. Like, it's always best, especially for like people who watch my videos or whatever. I mean, I bigly appreciate people who subscribe to the Patreon. It's super cool. Money is fun, but you're going to learn more if you build it from scratch yourself, you know? Absolutely will learn more. But that being said, give me money. Okay. These are okay. Ableton's equivalent is groups. What, to Patcher? No, I think it's like Max MSP, right? Or oh, I guess like this is what you mean groups. I thought you meant groups by like putting tracks in groups. Yeah, like racks basically. Creating like big ol', yeah, it's just racks. Though we also have Max MSP, which I don't think FL has an equivalent for that, unless Patcher... No, I think Patcher can do more than racks can, but it can't do as much as Max MSP. That's my understanding. Kind of like Bitwig, probably. I don't know shit, man. Stop asking me. Leave me alone. That's kind of... I mean, it sounds like shit, but melodically that's really nice sounding. Is there a way I can make this work? No, there's no way. There's no fucking way. But it sounds so complexy. I don't like that, man. Oh. What if we... Wait, hold on. It's super clicky. What if we disperse it? Okay, it doesn't work. That was a terrible idea. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of shit. I'm probably gonna end up removing this in the end. It doesn't, it's so, like, muddy and dirty sounding. And I fucked up by using setting the BPM to 180 instead of 90. Because now you can only preserve up to 1 bar instead of 2. Yeah. 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 It sounds like garbage. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Let's just keep looking. It's kind of cool. Let's distort that. Hey, what's up, Mr. Leaky? I'm kind of digging this now. This is starting to come together. Didn't I put Bloom on the master? I should put this. So let's just cheat and make it sound better already. I fucked up. Okay, now we just switch up the main guy down an octave. Where's the main guy? Low. Oh, the project file's getting too big. That's pretty cool. I'm liking it. Alright, what the fuck are we gonna do now? I mean, I have these bells here. Say headphones are better for ear fatigue? I don't know. No, I don't, it's volume, really. It's volume and breaks for sure. That's one good thing about the streams. At least when they're busy because like I could keep talking to the chat and then I'm resting my ears in the process. You gotta leave? Alright, for sure. Take care, Normal Font. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, catch the beginning of a beat battle. Oh no. Oh, the expectation. Oh geez, I gotta get to work. Yeah, I might be able to do that. I probably can. I mean, I probably could before. I'm just lazy. Think so. The ears need help. Yep. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I was just break some stuff. I do find switching between headphone and monitor is just really great for like changing perspective. Just how the song sounds in headphones just sound different than on monitor, you know? Maybe it's cooler in headphone than on monitor. Gotta make cool in both. So I think that's like just a good way to like switch up your perception of everything. Getting super fatigued lately? Are you taking breaks? Gotta take breaks, you know? Every like what's the recommendation? I think like every like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, take a 15-minute break or something. I was reading on like an audio engineer forum, something like that. Just like take a break, do push-ups, try to do handstands. Before you know it, you'll be really good at doing handstands, or trying to. So, what do we do here? What do we do here? Again, so for anyone who didn't catch, I stole all this MIDI from a famous, not a famous, probably the most well-known and famous 23 EDO composition. Which is to say, like, 2,000 people listen to it. So, yeah. Let's see a handstand? Oh no. No, I'm too shy. I can't do it. Honestly, like, it sounds kind of cool if we... Shift that over. And then, honestly, wait, let's put this out here over here. I think buying samples, using them instead of no, not at all. It depends on how much you use the samples. I think you are cheating yourself if you don't try to flip the samples in some way, unless you're being intentional about like sampling, you know, because like sampling is an art form. You're like, I'm using the sample from this thing, as opposed to, I do think like if you're literally just dragging in drum loops off of Splice and then dragging in a melody loop off of Splice and then dragging in a vocal off of Splice, and then you just layer those three things together and then you have a whole 30 seconds of music, I don't really have respect for that. You're still making music, you're still making an artistic decision about deciding to combine those things, but like that's uninteresting. You're cheating yourself and not getting better at music. What you should do is you should try cutting up and moving the drums around with that sample and modifying it in some way, or applying some sort of effect and just doing something. Just sampling short sound. Like 90% of what I'm using are sampled short sounds. You think I made these drums? God no. Making drums is fucking boring. I would never. All of these are samples. Now it's just a question of like, okay, all the sound design, I think all the sound design is me. Did I make anything that isn't in the sound design? No. Technically this MIDI is stolen. This MIDI is from another piece, but I'm sampling the piece in a way that I think is pretty cool. Yeah, one-shot samples? No, go for it. They're sample packs. It really, I mean, there's really no rules, you know? With the exception of like, don't plagiarize something that already exists, you know? But I do think like you should try generally to like stay away from like splice loops or like using entire loops without changing them. I don't know, I hate making drums. I find it so boring. Maybe my mind will change someday. Hopefully. Hopefully. Here, let's take so we got this guy. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. Let's duplicate this. And this guy will set to that, and we'll have them do something different. That's kind of cool. And then, I don't know, then we put an OTT after? Alright, and then let's chill out on the drums for now. Okay, and then that last ending bit I'm not crazy about. You're sending, oh, where would you, Juan and Lucas are becoming friends. It's so cute. Aw. Transferring a bunch of one-shot samples now. Yeah, no, there's no rules. Don't be afraid of nothing unless if you feel the urge to be secretive about something and not share something out of like shame or fear, then that probably means you're doing something wrong. Otherwise, like, pop off, go crazy, right? Just do what you enjoy as a producer. Agree that you won't really grow as a producer or make anything interesting if your whole song is just splice loops. Yeah. Yeah, if you're still enjoying the artistic process, yeah, you know, it's like about having fun at the end. But if your goal is, yeah, to like improve, I do think you're like cheating yourself a little bit. Anyway, Leaky said, it's such a neat puzzle getting different tones of noise. The different types of transients for different vibes. Yes. Yeah, there's so much. Again, yeah. I don't know. I was just talking with Craftal in the Discord about how I'm afraid for the new producers who are gonna like grow up with like generative AI for everything. You know, like if you just like slap an AI plugin and then AI plugin just compresses everything for you and like tames the transients for you and just does all the EQ and mixing for you, kind of like Bloom, but like, you know, even on a much more larger scale, to the point where like you don't really need to put any conscious thought into mixing at all. I feel sad for them because mixing is like such a beautiful and cool process that teaches you so much about sound and music itself. Like I can now hear like what compressor settings sound like. I can hear a song and qualitatively like feel how compressed and like how strong the attack is and how the transients are and stuff. And I got that from mixing for hours and hours. And I think a lot of people are going to be missing out on that. And I think it's sad. One of the greatest joys in life for me has been seeing how my ear evolves and how progressively sound changes. Like, you know how when you first started producing music, and for most people, it seems this is the case, sound goes from this like this wall of sound, this experience that is just like raw kind of emotion and feeling, into you can suddenly kind of see in your like mind's eye all the elements on a track. You know, you can like pick apart, oh, that's the snare, those are the hi-hats, that's the chord, that's the bass line. Right? That's like the very fundamental first thing. That hasn't stopped for me. I'm like 7 years into this. I'm still discovering new ways of like qualitatively feeling sound, and the whole experience is constantly changing as my ear gets trained. And that's one of the greatest joys, I think, in music production, has just been being able to understand music on like a higher and deeper and deeper and deeper level. And yeah, it'll suck for people to miss out on that. I mean, like, obviously, you know, if you just like put something into Suno and just generate a whole song, you're not getting anything out of that. But I don't know. But then again, also, I'm just an old man yelling at clouds, because like back in the day, people had to like cut tape and chop up tape to like do stuff, and I'm sure they got something enjoyable out of that process, but thank God we don't have to cut tape anymore. So, you know, it could also, it gives and takes. Like the new producers will be able to also like realize and see their vision come into fruition, even though they might not be like as technically minded or as obsessive about like compressors or EQ or whatever. So like that's cool. You wasted way too much time in Counter-Strike, yeah. Excited because it could definitely revolutionize some things, remove tedious processes, add convenience, and help you in a lot of producing, especially lacking means of knowledge to achieve the sound you're going for. Yeah. It's like some concern, I guess. It's just that's an inherent part of taking away, of automating the painful shit, is you are going to be removing some of the joy of understanding the painful shit, you know? That's just it's just a give and take. You know, there's a beauty in monotonous tasks. And, you know, you take away the monotonous tasks, then like you're taking away the beauty as well. And that's just a fact of how it works. Let's just wait, oh, we can get really fucking weird, actually. Ooh, what if we just like keep this crazy ass weird melody going, and then we just start adding more and more percussion and drums, and it just starts like growing and evolving in a like kind of cacophonic, schizophrenic, scary kind of way, you know? That could be a whole hoot. That could be fine. Except these parts I don't like as much. I definitely want to like chop up and loop and be a little bit more intentional about what's going on, I think. And then I can maybe introduce counter melody. Maybe let's duplicate this. And then we're gonna introduce this section over here. This guy can loop in the background, and then we'll have this guy play. This will be something different. Like AI will take much longer to surpass humans in terms of music production. I don't know. Have you listened to the like Suno AI shit? And like what they've accomplished in like 1 year? Have you seen like what like AI artwork looked like 4 years ago, 5 years ago versus now? Like it's so exponential. Now maybe, hopefully, maybe it'll plateau at some point and then like not really improve past the like, you know, kind of obviously AI generated look that it has now that people are already kind of sick of. But it's probably just going to keep getting better if I'm being realistic, but maybe. I mean, they're like whole ass songs. They're like with like lyrics and vocals and like, I don't know, progression, and it's kind of gnarly. You can still hear that it's AI, but yeah. Thought of AI getting more and more capable and user-friendly and exponential rates. Yeah, it's overwhelming. For sure. And none of it's really being regulated. It's odd. Alright, I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna get some water, use the bathroom and all that. I'll be back. All right, we back. All right, what have we been talking about? If AI gets better. Thought of AI getting more capable, spooky. Yes, if AI is better, good producers will use it to their benefit. And more powerful tools with which you can control, which is, yeah, that's a good thing. AI music is a standalone thing. I don't think will compete with. Yeah, definitely agree with that. And people won't want to listen to that just because like there's an innate human aspect. It's like boring. So like some people might like maybe if you could just like make any music you want with a prompt, people just like generate music, but like and then listen to that. But I don't see that being fulfilling. I don't know. Only having an artistic point of view, it's missing the whole part of the AI. Yeah, well, maybe the artistic point of view could be the person generating it. You know, if you, the consumer, want to hear a song that sounds like this particular thing, you're the artist in that moment. And then you're working with a thing and then experiencing it. It's a little bit of a different experience, of course, than being presented artwork from a human who had their own idea or vision, but I don't know. Broad topic. Yeah. It can't really be better than the input it gets. It can only be as good as we are, but not really do anything new. Well, it can like synthesize something new in the sense that it's combining different elements, and that's kind of how humans work, right? Like I am all of my influences and everything that I've ever listened to, as well as my own music, which has been built on everything else, right? So you know, we kind of just like pull and take from everything else and then synthesize something made out of everything else, and then other people will take from that thing, and then so it's just soup. And AI kind of does the same thing, but it's a robot, and we don't like robots. Okay. Something that gives art inherent value is that it's a reflection of thoughts, feelings, and the creators themselves. AI can't represent any of that, though I'm sure it basically replicated it perfectly at some point. Yeah, something that I've like kind of been philosophically on about for a minute. What color is that? Drop 2. Something I've been thinking about lately is like, what is music, right? And I've come to realize that like everything is music. All sound. My volume is low? Oh, okay, no, it was on you. All right. Everything that there is music. You listen to birds tweeting, is that music? If you say no, well, what if a human just sets up a recording device and records the birds and uploads it to Bandcamp, and then you listen to a field recording, and then it's music? So does like there have to? No, I didn't mean to press space. So does there need to be like human intention with the recording or the presentation of a thing for it to become music? No, I would say no. I would say that the birds themselves are producing a thing that you're observing. It's a natural experience. You're listening to it. That experience of listening to it causes you in your brain to like feel an emotion or a change of your current state of being. That's a musical experience, I think. You can listen to the sound of traffic on a freeway and listen to the Doppler shifting trucks and cars moving by, and that'll like soothe you and make you like, or not soothe. I'm talking about like I once slept in a motel right next to a freeway, and I couldn't sleep because it was right next to a fucking freeway, but it was very relaxing listening to the cars and thinking about Doppler shift and thinking about how, you know, all these different, how the wheels running over the gravel and rocks getting kicked up is creating like a lot of chaos, which creates white noise. And I was analyzing that from like a musical perspective, a sound design perspective, and it was giving me a qualitative state of mind. And that was a musical experience. Did a human present that to me? I would say no. I would say that the only human involved in that experience was me. And then I've also been thinking about like, so nature is music if you will yourself to observe it as music, right? And if you listen to a guitarist play a song on a stage, that's music. But the guitarist is just as much nature as is those birds or the trucks and the cars on the road or listening to a pond, because humans are just nature, really. Music is just the act of observing and feeling the universe around us through sound, whether it be another human or something else. You can predict that a total solar eclipse is going to happen, which is a completely natural phenomenon, on this date, at this location, at this time, and go out there and observe art by staring up and looking at what the universe is doing. And likewise, you could predict with certainty that a music festival is going to go on, and there's going to be a collection of humans and people that have been raised through the natural circumstances of their surroundings and their environment and their genetics and all of that, and then end up going on stage and performing a thing that you can then observe, which is also just a completely natural experience, right? Because we're all just fucking made of atoms and shit. We're like, I don't know. It's kind of the premise that we just like have no free will, honestly. Like tied into music is willing yourself to have a musical experience by listening to sound and like interpreting it that way. I do agree, but there are hierarchies in what can be considered music and in its ability to objectively put someone in the maximal spiritual experience type thing music can do. I mean, I would like to hear what you think is less music than something else, I suppose. Yeah, intuitively, yes, obviously, you know, like a psychedelic rock band, you know, intuitively has a little bit more merit than the sound of, you know, flies with a field recording. Oh, but are there? Oh, yeah, I see, I missed that. Are there hierarchies? Yeah. So, like, we add intrinsic value, I think, on the amount of effort gone into something, but that doesn't... It's made up in our heads. It's all made up in our heads. So then I think the question of like, okay, well, what AI makes isn't art. Yeah, it is. It's all art. It's all music. Does it mean it's good or that it's like have more value than human art? I think that's a completely different question. I think that's what people are really talking about. Like, it's definitely in its own category of thing than human-made art. There's AI art and human art, but it's still all fucking art. It's still a thing. I observe it. I have an experience. That's what art is. And I think it's just... I mean, I understand why people are, you know, so worked up about it, because it's like a existentially threatening, terrifying thing for creatives and honestly the human race, the human species, and the human spirit. So, like, yeah. But, no. Everything's art. Everything is music, as long as you will yourself to experience it as such. Seem more like Bach fugues. Well, I would say that, like, you know, like you listen to birds tweeting, there's like millions and millions of years of evolution gone into that entire complex process, and it's very, very different than a human abiding by arbitrary rules to layer a bunch of different like counter melodies and stuff together, right? Like the complexity is all there. It's just about, I don't know, what we humans like assign value to. Having experiences similar but not indicative of art. I mean, yeah, I guess it really depends on what you want, like what you want to define art as. But like, if you don't tell me, if you present to me an AI art thing and a human art thing, and I can't tell the difference, then there's fundamentally no experiential difference between both things. Really. It doesn't, yeah. Certain frequencies are more valuable than others depending on the desired effect. Yeah, depending on the desired effect, for sure. Create pattern. There are many different patterns. But also, the desired effect and what that experience is, what the effect is like culturally made. Right? It gets so subjective, yeah. If you have experience from a sound, you can record it or recreate it to communicate the beauty to others, then it's art. So you think it needs to be presented by a human to be art? Because I feel one can unintentionally create art, right? I feel like you can or unintentionally hear what I would deem as like almost music. You know, if all it takes is someone taking a field recorder and then recording it in the human intention, then I suppose, and I can't argue that. But I don't know, it feels much nicer to just think of all of it as just, it's all music, it's all art. I think it just needs to communicate. I feel like I was being communicated something extremely profound when I was listening to the sound of traffic in a shitty Motel 6 next to a highway. I had like almost a like, I don't know, I was gonna say like religious experience, but it obviously wasn't religious, but it was just like a very profound and amazing experience to listen to the sound of cars moving by. more so than I've felt from 99.999% of art that I've like had presented to me from humans. Definitely unintentionally is possible. I just don't consider it natural phenomena art until organized by humans trying to communicate. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair definition, for sure. Absolutely. Experience for sure doesn't mean the road was thinking. Yeah, alright, fair. I guess I just disagree on it needs to be organized by a human trying to communicate a thing. But yeah. And I guess I'm also coming at it from a perspective of like humans are just as much the road as the road is humans, because we're all just things without free will. We're all just a bunch of billiard balls bouncing around on a pool table, right? Every single action that we take has been preceded by the action right before that. Every single thought that we have is the result of chemical reactions in our brain that can be predicted if you were to know the state of every chemical reaction, kind of thing. But that's more kind of abstract philosophy. I mean, this whole conversation is, what is art? Whoa. All right, did I miss anything else? A lot of anger behind it is also stems from the fact that AI is trained off of human data. Yeah, I mean, it's just plagiarism. Is plagiarism the right word? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Which, yeah, they should all be sued, like, to oblivion, really, for what they're doing. It's fucking insane. It's moving so fast that nothing can't either. No, I'm sure something can be done about it. It's just no one's going to because there's so much money in it, right? That's just capitalism at work. We're just going to fucking destroy the world because money. So why not? Yeah, the human doesn't need to present the art. You see a constellation at night. It's fucking art too, but we create the constellation in our minds. Yeah, and the way that we interpret it, though, that's interesting because the constellation is a human construct. The constellation is the lines, yeah. Is the lines between the stars, not the stars themselves. So the concept of a constellation is absolutely human constructed. But the stars themselves, yeah, like I go out and I stare at the stars and I think about the fucking vastness of the entire universe and how small I am. And, you know, that gives me a deeply, like, awe-inspiring existential experience, far greater than any movie has ever given me. But, yeah, I guess you could say, yeah, it's not art in that it was, you know, something presented by a human, but it's still just the universe, you know. When you listen to a human singing a song, you're listening to the sound of billions of years of evolution creating a human and a cultural, like, identity surrounding that human and how they were raised and the music that they were exposed to and all the hours that they put into learning a thing because they wanted to learn it because of the culture that they grew up in, etc., yada yada yada. You're listening to the natural experience of that dude with a guitar, just as you're listening to the natural experience of fucking birds tweeting, or a road, or water falling, or staring at stars. But yeah, if humans don't operate like a mechanical machine, I would think there's value to human art that can go in a million directions. I mean, at some point you have to, like, stop, right? It's like a Socrates, whatever, Socratic method. You just keep asking questions, and at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of everything is or isn't. It doesn't really matter. I see inherent value in art being created by humans. Yet I also agree that it doesn't need to be human made to be mired as art. Yeah, I mean, as humans wanting to go past the blunt. Yeah, true. Yeah, all right. I think this conversation just can go in circles and also go on forever and ever and ever. But I'll finish reading the messages and we'll go back to music stuff. And way your interpretation makes something art. Yeah. I think it's the thing that happens in your brain that observes it. It's like if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? You could say, no, it doesn't make a sound because the sound is what happens in the brain of the observer. It makes air pressure waves, but air pressure waves isn't sound. You know, the tree falling in the woods isn't art unless I'm there to observe it and will it to be art in my brain. Somewhat believe in a no free will argument, but from a quantum physics perspective, seems like there's some things that are inherently random. So something being inherently random and possible to predict doesn't mean that we have free will. It doesn't mean that our consciousness is outside of the universe and just enacting, like a video game character, like choice You know, it just means that we're also subject to complete quantum randomness if quantum randomness has an effect on our choices, which it seems to not be. So either we're doing random shit outside of our control, or we're doing completely predicted shit outside of our control. We don't have control. Either way. In the way it could be, your universe truly is random. Yeah, it appears to be random, but quantum shit is weird, and we ain't physicists. We're just doing armchair psychology or philosophy. It's like how some say that perception is reality. You can say that interpretation is art. I like that. I like that a lot. The interpretation is art. It's like when the dude puts a fucking toilet in the art exhibit, and they're like, damn, dude, that's highbrow art, and everyone's talking about it and raising a big fuss, but it's just about how you will yourself to perceive it. But also, the toilet is like, there's intentionality in placing the toilet there, right, by a human. Does interpretation make art, though? There are CIA documents about using abstract art as a weapon to destroy the spirit, also moving money around. What? You what, mate? I don't know. All right, let's go back. We've been yapping for far too long. Let's think about this. Let's play this through. I'm gonna listen to my monitors. Let's try to structure this drop a little bit more. That's the goal before we start yapping again. It sounds like shit. It's way too loud. Everything's too loud. Alright, there's definitely potential with that idea. It's not being pulled off well at all yet, but yeah. Talking about philosophy fun, yeah, for sure. Music stream and not a philosophy stream. Yeah, I do want to, I need to be slightly more productive in the way that I'm being, because I do really like where this song is going, and I want to try to get more work done on it while I can. Let's... Wait, everyone chill out. Let's do that. Let's just keep doing that, and then damn, okay. And then let's just make this only like high harmonics. That's cool. Yeah, usually people discover me via the YouTube thing, not the other way around. So, very exciting. Okay, definitely something there. You gotta start like cutting up and looping like different parts. Like that was the wrong thing. It's meant that as an example of, are there holistic hierarchies of order and structure that make more sophisticated or objectively pleasing to the psyche? Like things that are structured. Yeah, things that are structured. Because it's like we're pattern finding machines, I think. Oh, right. Word, hell yeah. Yeah, nice to have you here. Very cool. Yeah, no, I just like art is like patterns basically. So, you know, if a lot of more complex art is just creating more abstract and larger scale patterns in time, right? Like there's individual patterns in one sound, right? Or like, oh, that's a sine wave, you know, there are harmonics laid over it, like integer multiples. The ear can hear that and recognizes that, and as a pattern recognizing thing goes, oh, that's producing a pitch similar to what I hear in day-to-day life. And then how is that structured? You know, how does it work within like a 4-bar loop? How does that 4-bar loop call in response to every other single element within it? How does a 4-bar loop work in a 16-bar larger scale thing? Suddenly that's one section, there's multiple other sections, and it just keeps expanding and going out, and then you have an entire song that progresses and tells an entire story. That's a pattern in of itself, you know? And then you could think, you could keep zooming out forever. You could think about how does the song position itself in the context of like an album or a mix, and you're telling a story throughout the mix, building an energy, leaving an energy. And then, yeah, no, it just goes forever. You just keep zooming out. How does music as a whole throughout like how does the musical culture of entire genres in the human experience change? What did music sound like 50 years ago as like trends and everything is evolving, and how do those patterns slowly evolve through time and morph into what they are now? Let's see. Yeah, actually there are. That's a deep dive. Basically novelty and familiarities, pleasure. Yeah, like surprise, subversion of expectation is a big thing. They obviously have a lot of production videos. Nice. Yeah, I remember listening to the thing you posted also in the Zen Harmonic Discord, and I feel like it's like relatively similar in terms of like kind of abstract sound design, while also like remarkably like colorful, like tonally and stuff like that. So I'm sure there's probably a lot you'd like in this channel. Okay, where the fuck is that sound? Because it has the most painful high harmonic thing. What are we gonna do about you? We could just put Bloom on you and just slam it, because this is gonna be an awful sound to mix down. Do Quark Soup breakdown at some point. Yeah, I could do that. Definitely could. I kind of break down the main process and how I made the song in the microtonal video I did. This video is definitely like outdated in terms of what I know now, but this is basically like how can you fuck around with like using the microtuner device. This is back in Ableton 11 before you could import tunings files into Ableton. But basically I'm doing like weird automation and drifting to like transform the tuning over time. So it starts off in like 22 notes per octave, and then I used MPE control to change how the pitches are mapped from 12 to 22 to skew it such that notes that are further away from like C get pitched even farther. So it ends up not even being in an equal temperament. It just gets really fucked with, and then also the pitch will like drift over time. And then a lot of it is it's a 7-note polymeter, but it's swung. So there's like 7 notes. I have an arpeggiator, and it's like a 7-note scale, right, of these things. The scale transforms over time in that there's slight pitch bending to things, and then it's swung. So the swing on the thing will swing every other note. So since it's 7 notes, it's actually going to take 14 notes for the entire pattern to reset. So there's the first 7 notes with every second note swung, and then the second 7 notes with every first note swung, and then then it resets. And so it's a 14-note polymeter. that are all playing like 8th notes or 16th notes. And then that cycle just keeps repeating up until like every 16 bars, and I just reset the cycle. So if you listen here, just recognize it's a polymeter. Recognize that things are happening offset by like whatever 14 16th notes, and then like a lot of it comes together, and then also a lot of those notes will slowly pitch up and up and up every single time it plays, right? And it's just that note pattern over and over and over again with, you know, sound design porn the whole time. And I'm just like automating like a million things on the file. How long have I been producing? Since like very beginning of 2018. So 7 years? It was like very end of 2017, very beginning of 2018. Yeah. Kind of hate this is a terrible melody. Oh wait, I need to make this thing not sound fucking terrible. What's up? This is gonna be weird as fuck. I really want to make this idea work, but it's like it's gonna be difficult to make this sound good. But I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it. It will happen. Maybe we can get like polymeter in here actually, now that I think about it. Just to make it like extra stupid. Probably can't do this main pattern, maybe? What if we... Maybe not like that, but like the idea is possibly good. Bloom is it's like a dynamic, it's a dynamic multi-band compressor saturator EQ thing. So basically they've like set up the algorithm for Bloom such that it matches to the equal human loudness contour, and they match it for songs that are generally mixed and mastered well, such that it will try to use a multi-band like a multiband compression thing to actively try to make whatever sound is going into it sound more like that curve that they have in mind. So you can then adjust, you know, the bands to your liking and like boost it more so or less so, and then change the amount. If you like end up pushing the knob even more, then it's like a mix of like saturation and distortion, like multiband saturation, as well as compression and like EQ stuff. Basically, you twist knob and then it sounds good. That's pretty much how it works. It's kind of mind-blowing. I like to put it on my master a lot of the time, like at a very low, like dry wet percent, not very low, like 30%, which is pretty extreme actually. And I boost all the ultra highs, like everything above 9K, and it sounds great. It just like dynamically responds. If something's too bright, it'll turn it down. If something's not bright enough, it'll turn it up, and it makes everything sound crispy. So like with it off, you can go down to this section. Not like OTT, because OTT sounds bad in my opinion. I still use OTT from time to time, but I think it's overused in general. But like OTT will just like slam everything. This will like be a lot more, I don't know, it's just generally a lot more dynamic and has multiple like use cases. So like you can use it like it's on the drums. Wait, that was the master one. I turned on the master one, that was silly of me. It is on the drums though. Yeah, it's good for squashing and getting like, or pulling some high end out of we need to EQ this. We need to EQ the chords. It's good for pulling high end out of like bass sounds. Where's is this? It's this guy. Yeah. I need to evolve the melody a lot more. Maybe like in this section it like stops bending as much. It's kind of boring at this point. I think the melody needs to evolve a lot more. Maybe not just like repeat as much. It's too repetitive, especially to go on this long. Gotcha. Yeah, Oak Sound, I think. No, I've heard you can find pirated versions of it. Definitely have heard, but I think they're harder to get than other plugins, to my knowledge. Yeah, no, it needs. I'm like trying to figure out. I need like either sound design variations, or I think I need to change the melody itself so that it feels less repetitive overall. Yeah, like right now I change this and set like. It changes from the pitch bending here to like, which like is pretty big, but yeah, like here, the way it evolves there is pretty nice. Definitely needs to change more. I need a more of a switch up in the melody. Okay. Bold. this is already better. I want it to like disintegrate right at the end of there. Yeah. Alright, I think that's better, for sure. There's some, like, other chords. Yeah, no, I'm getting stuff done now. That's for sure. I mean, honestly, this is definitely getting somewhere. It's kind of slow progress, because I've been streaming for like 2 hours, but also been having fun talking about random shit, so it is what it is. It's kind of what I'm asking for by streaming, so... There's like certain chords I want like to be accompanying more stuff. Maybe we can like wavetable it. I should probably just use pigments. I'm kind of curious now. Yeah, fuck it, let's use pigments. Yeah. Wait, what's this guy doing? Yeah, I was thinking that was my first really bad idea. How often? Not. I don't know. It varies. I think I don't even remember what this one is. I don't remember what that one is. This one is good. I made this song at the end of January. I started it, and this is going to be a song I'm actually going to finish. This song is bad. This song is good, actually. And this was like a week ago? Yeah. This is another 23 EDO thing. And that one's pretty good. I think that one's bad. I don't remember. This one's good. That's from mid-January. Honestly, actually, I've been kind of on a roll lately. There's 3 good songs in the past month and a half. This one is funny. I'm probably never going to finish it. It's kind of good. This one's really good. It's from November. Or, I guess, December. It's garbage. I was not in a good mind space in this whole period. That's garbage. This is really good. This one's released, actually. This is, that's Bleak, which is it's a 26 tone song. Garbage. Good. Kind of good. Good. Garbage. I should try to make that song work. That has potential. Anyways, something like that. Yeah, Inspector Gadget must be completed. Yeah. It's pretty much there. It just sounds stupid as it is right now, and I need to make it less stupid in the second half. But like the whole idea is there. I'm intimidated because I'm like, fuck, okay, it's done, but it's stupid, so I need to take it apart and make it better. Stupid in a bad way. Like there's parts of it that are stupid in a good way, and then there's parts that are stupid in a bad way. So I gotta fix that. Anyways, so there's a really nice guitar preset. Come on. Just search. Why can't I just type in fucking guitar, man? Are we searching only by the thing that are liked? Just explore. Oh. I think it might be this one. Oh. Oh, right, because it's not tuned anymore. Never been in an orchestra yet. Oh, that's kind of... Whoa. Honestly, that sounds surprisingly good, considering I tried to make it in 23 and it sounded terrible. That's the secret. You make things that sound bad in 23 and then they'll sound good in 12. Who would have thought? I think 70% of the stuff I start sounds like garbage, the other 30%. Yeah, that's a really good ratio, honestly. I was just saying earlier, like 90% of what you make is just going to be trash, you know? Yeah, but it's like a numbers game. You just got to keep getting ideas out there until you like find something to cling to. I think this song might be something I stick with. Maybe. There's definitely some good potential here. Okay, it's not this one. Is it this one? It is this one. Yeah. I remember, okay, this guy needs to be pitched up an octave, because this is C3, this sample C4, that's C4. This sample is C5, so we're going to pitch you down an octave. C4, C4, C3. Oh, I was pitching the wrong thing. That didn't help anything whatsoever. Okay. This guy's going up an octave. There we go. And then these are the same. That goes down. And then over here, we go to edit again. C3, you are going to go up. C4, C4. Okay. Then, turn off MPE. Insert CL file. 23. Okay. And then it has to be set to like that. Or whatever. Why does it sound so low? What's your deal, dude? Oh, sequencer is on. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck at school tomorrow. Why is this so fucking out of tune? I didn't tune it right, did I? I probably just didn't fucking tune it right. Okay, we'll play C4. It says it's F. Why are you F? Why is this F? What's going on? I mean, is off. Load SCL file. What? I'm so confused now. Okay, when it's turned off, it's out of tune. Is it tritone off? What the fuck is going on? Why? They're trying to defeat me right now. They're winning. They're besting me. I have no idea what's causing this issue. I mean, I guess I could forcibly transpose everything. So I had to go up 7 and down 1 6. And then down 1 6. That's fine. It's only off by 3 cents. Okay, now it's fucking awful. Kill me. Make this offbeat because I'm a sucker for things that are offbeat. Don't. Yep. Offbeat is the move for sure. That was not. Well, I mean, that was technically off of the beat. Oh, it's only the first 2 notes. Hate it here. never figured out that section. Yeah, I want... This is too low in pitch or too high, so let's go... Oh, this is a fifth above it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right, so what is a fourth then? I guess it's F. It's weird, man. know about this section, honestly. Pitch class and just knowing the step size of each important interval. Yeah, I guess I could have like thought harder about it. I think I just didn't use my brain because we're D flat 5 and we want to move a fifth above that, so that's going to be A. Like this note would be A flat 5, right? And we have that here, which is 2 notes above G, which is 2 notes above C. Like I could have figured that out, but I'm a big silly head. Because there's all sorts of like weird intervals within this that I like might want to use that, you know, aren't like, if I'm doing anything that isn't specifically in an anti-diatonic scale, then I'm gonna want to know that, you know. I could just have a sheet pulled up with just the names of the or like just the interval sizes of the important intervals. So that for sure. I could try. Yeah, the next 23 song, I'll try doing it with it just being numbers instead, and we'll see if that's more or less confusing. Probably more confusing. I would have to like doing modular. The problem is going to be doing modular arithmetic with 23, right? It's just like constantly calculating remainders of something, remainder against 23, because 23 is just a weird number, but. Why is this like so fucked? It's like it's slightly out of tune with it. Oh, it's because this is dropping down. We have drop on. Duh. Oh, and we want this guy. Does it have a high release? I think they're interfering with each other. We want this to be monophonic. Yeah. Oh, we don't. That's what was happening. We were just playing chords with a bass. Boring. This part's boring. This section over here is a lot better though. What's clicking? Something's clicking. What is clicking? It's a drum thing probably. No? What is clicking? Oh. 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 Maybe. Oh no. Fuck. Wait, where's the thing? This guy. I should probably name things. Base. Horn. What was I gonna do? Oh, I think I'm just gonna get rid of the dotted thing. No, it kind of needs it. I don't know what to do with the song. I think that's good progress. I am burning out. I'm tired of listening to it. And I bet all of you are as well. O2 25. What do we call this? What to call? Do we talk about anything funny in chat? Any specific names? Just like some philosophy stuff. I don't know. Anti Blackwood Anti-Diatonic. I don't know. That's an awful name, but it's a name nonetheless. Gun did it. Okay, folks. I am ending the stream. I'm actually, you know what? I want to listen to the first half of the song again, because I forgot what it sounded like, because I just kind of fixated on this part until I burnt out and hated everything. So let's check this out real quick, and then I'm ending the stream. It's actually way better of a title. I'm gonna do it now. 2502. Wait. Yeah, 250225. Yeah, is Dun and Bob's 180 BPM. Way better. Way better. Kind of sick, actually. This is working out, I think. Okay, so I was gonna stop, and then I didn't stop, but I'm actually gonna stop now. Yeah, I've been streaming for like over 3 hours. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, I'm heading out. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to stream again tomorrow. Let's flesh this song out a little bit more. I'm hyped on it. Sounds pretty good. I think it sounds good, yeah. Yeehaw. Alright, take care, y'all. Hope you have a good rest of your... It's a Tuesday. Oh man, I'm losing track of the days of the week. That's not good. Alright, later. Bye.